What's up, YouTube? Number 2 video for tonight. And I'm going to call this series of videos Stick and Move. Basically, no direct order, no planning other than general notes. I'm going to kind of just touch on a theory that I've either heard or it's mine. I'll give the best shout outs I can. That's going to be explained in one of my next upcoming videos. The lack of my content and my thought process between and because of. I just said in the last video about how I think Lodi Stoneheart will give Jon the kiss of life to resurrect him. I believe Jon and Sam, or Frodo and Sam, will travel to Mordor. I mean, the lands of always winter. And to meet the Night's King. Or as HBO changed it up, what was White Walker leader or whatever. See my upcoming video on the White Walkers. A while back, Charlie in Westeros and Bilal Ahmadi's. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I apologize. He's a really cool guy. I like the guy. He's got some good thoughts. Smart guy. It was a collaboration video they made, but I had commented on my opinion of the White Walkers, and it was received well, so I plan on making a video on that. I believe before or after their trip to Mordor, after Jon's resurrection, obviously, that Jon's going to go to Winterfell now via of his own accord and anger, or if Bran, gives him a cell phone call on the weirwood tree. It's got to happen like this. And Tony Teflon, man, Sword in the Stone is the way to go, dude. It's got to be. I love that. See Tony's video on it, but basically Lightbringer is in Lyanna's statue. How else is Ned gonna hide it? You know what I mean? Why not cover it in concrete? Next, I believe that the Ice Dragon will enter as a gift/tool given to Jon from the Night's King to help do what? Most likely kill fire. I kind of dig that. Everyone thinks that Tyrion and Daenerys are going to be BFFs. I don't see it like that. I don't see Dany taking a cab right back to where she came from when Drogon dropped her off in the middle of the Dothraki Sea. I see, and I really like something that Don the Kraken Witt said, man. Maybe let's think about like a unified Dothraki army. Like all the different factions and tribes band together. I mean, she's got a dragon, dude. You know what I mean? They band together. But I don't see her sticking around. I see her jumping back on Drogon. And I think it was James Johnson that said it. I really want her to wake up again, but in Westeros. That's going to put her forces in a hairy place. You know what I mean? I think Barristan, I think her forces are going to say, well, Dany's in Westeros. We need to be in Westeros. They leave behind a small force, and Jorah is allowed back in the fold to stay behind and lead. Though he doesn't want to, he's told to. I believe that Tyrion will be more so a bargaining chip / prisoner for trade / paycheck, if need be, at least until he demonstrates his knowledge and how helpful he could be to Dany and the dragons, and just in the overall knowledge of Westeros. Barristan can account for his, he's a good shit, I just said that, bargaining chip, save his skin for a little while. I believe that Stannis he's gonna go for his beating his brother's record, come close or beat it. Multiple battles in one day. He's gonna go badass. He's gonna go hardcore. And there's a connecting theory, a couple theories ahead that I'll whip back and explain. But I see Stannis defeating the Boltons, even though he's outnumbered, poorly nourished. I see them winning. I see him using the battlefield to his advantage, like everybody says. You know, there's nothing new. I think directly thereafter, he's going to be engaged by fake Aegon. And I think he's going to whoop that ass too. I'll go ahead and throw it in there before I get to the other theory, so it makes more sense now. But we know that Nymeria has a super PAC, and I'm really hoping that Arya heads back over from Braavos, or even does it from Braavos, but through Nymeria leads the super PAC, shows up and helps Stannis wreck shit. The third battle will most likely be with Dany and her forces, in which Stannis will fall. Sorry, Tony. Can't win them all, man. I think the wall is going to drastically change. I think that most of the Night's Watch will be slaughtered for Jon. You know what happened. I think that more of the wall will be manned now than has been in a very long time by the free folk. And I'm wondering if that castle, the Night's King, kept up, that's been boarded up for so long, is going to come back into play, and if we're going to learn any secrets from that, anything that's in there that helps the story along or something like that. That would be very interesting. Here's Arya. Returning from Braavos, big question mark. Doesn't really need to for what I need her for, but I kind of want her back in Westeros. If she does, she'll probably come in through White Harbor, either faceless or not. It's been some time. Nobody will probably recognize her anyways. And she's going to roll up on the Manderleys because of their fierce backing of the Starks. They're going to know what's been going on, what's happened, and she can kind of linger around, get information, etc. And she's just northeastern of the Neck and the Freys and everybody. So I think she's going to make a good connection with Nymeria there. She's going to, play around with that a whole bit. Excuse me. I would really like to see maybe Nymeria get a glimpse of Lady Stoneheart, kind of one of these, as she's turning around. Maybe Arya sees her mom, but not her mom. Another connecting one that's going to happen here in a few minutes. I said it with the last video with Howland Reed, but what if Arya, through warging Nymeria, leading this super PAC, which incidentally, I looked it up. There was a super PAC attacking a town in Russia, and it was between 300 and 400 wolves. I mean, that's a force to be reckoned with. You know what I mean? That's no bullshit. Maybe the super PAC can help Howland in some way. Maybe they only help Howland. Maybe they don't help Stannis. Maybe they help both. I mean, you're talking about animals that can cover a huge amount of land if need be. They could be in more than one place very quickly. I'm skipping over stuff. That's why I said, man, stick and move. It's going to be a quick one. A lot of input, quick. And then we can elaborate. You can comment, whatever. I just said that. Helps Stannis in the second battle, blah, blah. Sam. I want Sam to be the Lord Commander. Well, different options. I want Sam to be the Lord Commander of the Wall. Once a new chain of command is established, They figure out what they want to do with the free folk. They figure everything out. I think Sam is wasted on being a maester. He can still be smart. He can still learn. He can still do all that. But I think that he's got a good heart. And I think once Jon is gone, being relieved of his Night's Watch obligation, takes on another responsibility in life, he leaves Sam behind, or not, to be the Lord Commander. I would really like that. But I'll come right back to that in a second. Littlefinger / Peter Baelish and Sansa. I think Sansa's going to kill his ass. Maybe castration first. Don't know. But I'm going to leave that alone for now because I do have a lot of things to say about that. That is just going to have to be another video. I'm sorry. Dorne. Again, a lot to say. It'll be another video, but real quick. I think that Oberyn messed some stuff up. I think that what he did wasn't so much along the Dornish master plan. I think that that's going to, kind of screw some stuff up. And I think that the Sand Snakes don't help that very much. I think they follow suit. They do some things that they probably shouldn't do. Ultimately, we've been told that things happen over and over again. What if, for whatever reason, and I'm about to go against what I'm going to say right now in just a second, but what if Jon ends up down King's Landing in charge and he takes a Dornish wife? That's going to be Rhaegar all over again. Start afresh, start anew, before all this shit happened. And Jon's a bastard, regardless, unless Rhaegar and Lyanna got married, maybe in front of a weirwood tree, which wasn't his religion, but, and so would one of the Sand Snakes. But it's kind of just, get her done. The Seven Kingdoms. Here's the, me going against what I just said. I do buy into the thought that the Seven Kingdoms will be separate again. However, I think that some of the kingdoms might break apart into multiple kingdoms. I think that some of the kingdoms may come together. So we might not even have 7 kingdoms. We might have 5. We might have 11. I don't think it's going to be what it has been for a long time. I don't think it's going to happen. I think there's going to be a lot more acceptance of religion and bastards, and a lot is going to change under the rule of Jon Snow. I think he'll keep his name, and I believe that King's Landing will more so be a governing body. It won't be the focal point of the land. It will be a governing body. It will keep major wars from happening. You know what I mean? Once it's repaired, obviously, because I think it's going to take a pretty goddamn hard hit. And then this is it. What if Sam isn't at the wall? What if he's released from his Night's Watch obligation or allowed to serve it in a different place? And then Jon just don't never say nothing about him and Gilly. You know what I'm saying? Or he releases him from his watch. I mean, Stannis was going to do it for Jon. Why can't Jon do it for Sam? And then Sam's maester, or not maester probably hand. He would be a good hand, I think. And he's got Gilly, and, he's got a great life. And then he can tell his dad, screw you, dude, look what I did, I think Ice had better be reforged. I want Ice to get reforged. And I want Arya to go get the swords. I want Oathkeeper and Widow's Wail to be reforged, maybe even with the dagger that almost killed Bran. Make it a little bigger. I think once you burn down steel and stuff a whole lot, you have a loss factor. So You know, maybe they fill that gap or make it a little bigger with that dagger. So that, the next video, obviously, I said I'll be covering some things from the next video, just real quick. Elaborations to cover things that I said I would, Arya, Sansa, Littlefinger, etc. I want to get into Rickon, Shaggy Dog, and Osha, individual houses, and what could potentially happen. Mostly the major 7, maybe smaller ones. The Cleganes, that's a big one I was saving. Religion, what's going to happen with that? You know, I think the Faith of the Seven's going to take a really hard hit over everything that happens. Dany and her dragons, which, and I think it was James Johnson had the theory about the dragons doing well in the Vale. If they aren't made to be killed off, I think that Dany might be made, you know, Lady of the Vale, and then her dragons would be happy as shit up there, man. You know? Pluck off some mountain people. You know? Unless they're giving it, you know, Lannister always pays his debts. I don't know. The White Walkers in general, I have a really good independent theory on that. I've heard things similar to it, but I want to get mine out there. And my actual total complete end game. So, this hadn't been like a stick and move, but I did my best. I got a lot out, I think. Like, subscribe, comment. If you haven't been on there, please go on LT Giles, go on Don the Wit Kraken. They're really good guys, man. I've been talking to them a lot. Just really, really knowledgeable, good guys. Don the Wit, or Don the Kraken Wit is the reason that I won't even mention the Greyjoys. And I've shown it in other videos, but I'm actually attempting to turn this into silence. That's another thing. I'm going to have to crash your Greyjoys, dude, because I have a good idea about that, but we'll talk. Thanks. Thank you, YouTube.